morning, doctor. My name is Wei. My matrix number is 270032. So I would like to start our Group 8 presentation with executive summary. The purpose of this research is to point out the condition of international business policy based on Malaysia's perspective to present to the MITI, which is the Minister of International Trade and Industry. For that, we have measured the political, economic, legal, and technological environment of Malaysia to determine if it is a dynamic nation for international trade. Malaysia's government intervening in trade and implemented several instruments for controlling trade for the purpose of reducing global competition. Malaysia is an open economy with small domestic market, which makes it important for Malaysia to have cross-national cooperation and agreement so that we can enhance Malaysia's competitive advantage. Besides that, companies in Malaysia undertake foreign direct investment and international collaborative ventures for a variety of motives, mainly to increase competitiveness in the global market. Therefore, it is important for Malaysia to have strategic alliances, network work, and strategic international marketing policies for the economic development and expansion. Thus, Malaysia should ensure that its techniques are relevant to its primary goal despite imaginative changes and demand.
Good day, doctor. My name is Lim Hui Ying, entry number 269519. And now I am representing the Malaysia political, economic, legal, and technological environment. Malaysia political system is based on the federal constitution monarchy. The head of country is known as Yang di-Pertuan Agong. The cabinet of Malaysia is chaired by the Prime Minister, which has an executive authority. Malaysia is the political peaceful country which focuses on the principle of stability and neutrality. Additionally, Malaysia has developed a relation with worldwide organizations such as ASEAN, OIC, Commonwealth, and United Nations. Moreover, Malaysia has established a foreign relation with worldwide countries such as China, Singapore, and United States. Due to the political peaceful inside the politics, Malaysia is the dynamic place of nation for international trade for run out. Continue with the economies of Malaysia. Malaysia is classified as middle-income nation since they successfully transitioned to emerging multi-sector industry. Malaysia is the fourth biggest economy in Southeast Asia due to the strong global demand of the natural resources, and they are able to move forward by cut off the dependence on exported products. Furthermore, diversification of sector has helped in increasing the level of labor force. Therefore, Malaysia can be classified as dynamic and suitable location for foreigners to run through an international business. Followed by the legal of Malaysia. Malaysia law is focused on both Islamic law and English common law. In justice system, there are two kinds of regulation, such as unwritten law and written law. Islamic law also the major basis of Malaysian law that has been implemented by the federal constitution. The legal framework is designed to strike a delicate balance between the various activities. Malaysia can be considered as a legally country, as people are legally protected by the law and regulation. Lastly, the technology environment in Malaysia. Malaysia is powerful on infrastructure, connectivity, and economic stability. Malaysia has the fastest growing industry, which is ICT industry, including data analysis, cloud computing, storage, and cybersecurity. Malaysia is now working to introduce 5G technology in order to boost the connectivity. Therefore, it became the attractive location to foreign international technology firms. That's all from me. Thank you.
Good day, Doctor. My name is Tan Zabao. I will talk about the Malaysian government influence on trade. We found that the physical and social factors of the countries, like political policies and legal practices, economic forces, geographic influences, cultural values, attitudes, and beliefs will affect the flow of goods and services between countries and create a competitive environment for the companies. In this finding, we found that there are economic and non-economic rationales that became the reasons for Malaysian government intervene in trade. Firstly, prevent unemployment. In 2020, Malaysia's unemployment rate increased to 4.5%. Besides, the COVID-19 pandemic also caused approximately 81 million employment losses in the Asia-Pacific region. So, the government may attempt to protect the jobs for people to be employed. Secondly, protect infant industry. The existing and large global competitive industry produces a product that is a great substitute to replace the imperfect domestic goods and cause competition between the local infant industry. Therefore, the local infant industries argue for protection from the Malaysian government. Thirdly, maintain essential industries. The Malaysian government must decide which industries are essential by evaluating the costs and alternatives and also weighing the political consequences. The Malaysian government must protect domestic industries during peaceful days so that the nation will not depend on external resources during times of war. Fourthly, deal with unfriendly countries. The Malaysian government is more on political factors than economic factors, preventing potential competitors from obtaining goods, so the Malaysian government can secure their domestic essential goods and prevent shipments to unfriendly countries. Next, I will talk about the instruments of trade control. Malaysia has used trade control in Malaysia's trade activities. First, the Malaysian government uses tariff to reduce the competitiveness of foreign-made products by raising their prices. Malaysian tariffs are usually applied on a value-add basis with an average basic applied tariff of 6.1% for manufacturers' products. Second is quota. A quota restricts the amount of a product that can be imported for a set of periods. Quota required to protect specific industry like infant industry that are under intense competition with international companies. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi and good day to Dr. Narendran and my fellow friends. Before I start, let me introduce myself. I am Muhammad Isra Hafiz and my metric number is 268006. So for my part, I will explain about the cross-national cooperation and agreement. So for the first one is economic integration. Economic integration is a process in which two or more states in a broadly defined geographic area reduce a range of trade barriers to advance or protect a set of economic goals. The level of integration involved in economic regionalist project can be vary enormously from loose association to a sophisticated, deeply integrated, transnationalized economic space. It is in a political dimension that economic integration differs from the broader idea of regionalism in general. Malaysia has started taking steps to improve its trade competitiveness by gradually lowering tariff and becoming a member of numerous trade agreements. Trade agreements are divided into four categories, which are multilateral trade agreement, regional trade agreement, bilateral free trade agreement, and bilateral trade agreement. Through agreement with the particular regional organization and nation, Malaysia have demonstrated a strong commitment to strengthening regional and bilateral trade connection. Malaysia's trade strategy has been strive towards a more liberalized and equitable global trading environment, with the WTO rules-based multilateral trade system being given first priority. Malaysia has consistently pursued voluntary tariff reduction and elimination in order to improve its competitiveness. Malaysia has implemented open transparency trade and policies produced through the year. So for the next part is bilateral integration. There are countries economically cooperate with one another, whereas in regional integration, several countries within the same geographic distance become joined to form organizations such as European Union and the North America Free Trade Agreement. Indeed, factors like mobility like capital, technology, labor are indicating strategy for cross-national integration. Malaysia has been heavily reliant in international trade to attain its growth economic goals since embracing an open economic. In the previous 3 decades, foreign commerce such as export and import, has accounted for a considerable and a growing share of Malaysian gross domestic product, demonstrating that international commerce has played an essential part in country economic growth. Malaysia has undoubtedly seen as a quick trend of its liberalization and globalization. As a result, analyzing development in Malaysian bilateral trade relations with its traditional major trading partners such as Singapore, Japan, United States, and the European Union has become a primary goal. So for the next part is regional integration. Regional integration is the process by two or more nations agreement to cooperate and work closely together to achieve peace, stability, and wealth. Usually integration involves one or more written agreement that describe the area cooperation in details, as well as same coordinating bodies representing the countries involved. The cooperation usually begins with economic integration, and as it continues come to include political integration. The Association of Southeast Asia Nations (ASEAN) members have established ASEAN Free Trade Area. The ASEAN Free Trade Area is a trade bloc agreement to support local manufacturing in ASEAN countries. Through ASEAN, Malaysia has regional free trade with China, Japan, Korea, India, New Zealand, and also participate in the ASEAN Trade Goods Agreement, which is called ARTIGA. And so that's all from my part, and thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Cha Pei-Juan with the matrix number of 269897, and I'll be presenting about direct investment and collaborative policies. There are three types of motive for foreign direct investment and collaborative ventures, including market-seeking motive, resource or asset-seeking motive, and efficiency-seeking motive. One of the main goals of Malaysian companies seeking foreign direct investment and international collaborative partnership is to find new markets. Many businesses in Malaysia are motivated to manufacture products close or at consumer sites where there is a large demand. Aside from that, Malaysian companies also pursue joint agreements in order to prevent or counter-react market rivalry. Secondly, gaining access to natural resources and knowledge is among the key purposes for foreign direct investment and cooperative ventures. Malaysian companies seek foreign direct investment and international collaboration in order to gain knowledge of their partners' technology, working processes, or home markets, and thereby expand their own competency. Therefore, obtaining location-specific asset is often a main motive. Thirdly, firms have a comparative advantage on economics of scale with the aim of acquiring low-cost manufacturing inputs and lowering costs. Besides that, Malaysian companies seeking foreign direct investment and foreign joint partnership is to benefit from government incentive. This is because government often will provide foreign companies subsidies and also tax concession to motivate them to invest locally. Next, there are also several types of collaborative arrangements such as licensing, franchising, management contracts, turnkey operation, and also joint venture. A licensing agreement is an agreement in which a licensor transfers intangible property rights to another party known as licensee for a set of period of time in exchange for a royalty fee from the licensee. Patents, invention, formulation, patents, copyrights, and trademarks are examples of intangible property. Secondly, franchising is a type of licensing by which the franchisor offers a standard set of merchandise as well as marketing and management structures that have been effective in the home country to the franchisee. The franchise owner usually gets a royalty payment, similarly to how licensing works. Next will be management contract. A management contract is an agreement where a firm offers management personnel and administrative know-how to a corporation for handling general or specific tasks in exchange for a fee. Time saving, operational continuity, and knowledge are all advantages of having a management contract. Besides that, a turnkey operation is where one company partners with another to construct completely operational, ready-to-use buildings. The ventures of turnkey operation will cost billions of dollars, and the clients are mostly either governments or major multinational corporations. Lastly will be joint venture. A joint venture implicates the formulation of a company that is owned together by two or more companies that are otherwise separated. There are a few strengths of joint ventures such as gaining benefits from a local partner knowledge of the host country competitive environment, culture, linguistic, political structures, and also industry structures.
My name is Hazika Zuhaira binti Sabarudin. My metric number is 267835 and I will present about the strategic alliances and network work. Strategic alliances is where each other company help in a project for their mutual gain benefit before, during the project and after the project ended. The higher the number of the partner, the lower the ownership continuum. The first one is a tight control usually for the whole company, whole business. As an example, the Malaysia Airline Berhad doesn't have any alliances, so they make their own decision. They are under the parent company Qatar National. They are under the Ministry or Finance Malaysia. The second one is the medium control, usually involved in the consortium, joint venture and equity alliances project. As an example, Jaya Auto Berhad become the sole distributor for the Mazda vehicle in ASEAN countries, and the Mazda Motors Japan can supply their vehicle in the ASEAN countries to their joint venture. The last one is the little control, usually involved in the management contract, turnkey franchise license and sale contract. As an example, the Manhattan Fish Market restaurant in Japan follow almost exactly as the Manhattan Fish Market restaurant in Malaysia. The network work. Most Malaysian international companies have international dimension in their business. As an example, the Manhattan Fish Market. It still keep the Malaysia identity, image, menu and taste. However, it is impossible for Malaysia to export everything to Japan. So, through the network work, the Japanese supplier are needed to cut costs, and the Japanese designer are needed for the restaurant to fit with the Japanese culture. Malaysian Network Readiness Index 2020. Malaysia have been in the 34th rank out of 134 countries in the economic performance rank, next to the China. However, our research team have identified that the Malaysian business doesn't use the government initiative through the Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation (MDEC). So, for Malaysia to suppress the China, Malaysia should use the mobile gaming model by the China for digital participation and creation in international business. We see that recently the international competition, the Mobile Legends, have gained international viewer, international sponsorship, and international participation. So it's a great platform for the Malaysian companies to enhance their product to the worldwide fan. They are not just for temporary marketing, but for everyday marketing.
Everyone, good day. My name is Aisha Natasha, metric number 268031. So for today, I'm going to explain more about international marketing policy. So there are so many reasons to why I could point out that we should go global or international to launch a aggressive planning into a new market segment in another country to attract more people before our competitor from another country does. So this export activity will be endorsed by Malaysian country, and this will simultaneously attract foreign investor to come to Malaysia and invest in Malaysia. So we need to imply these 4 policies under international marketing policies that are mentioned by Hazel T. Sackert in University of Witwatersrand, Johannesburg, which is product policy, pricing policy, promotion policy, and distribution policy. So the first one is international product policy. So international product policy is directly influenced by the marketing concept that we have planned. So the cultural pressure are the one that have the most influence in the changes of designs and style to the product and services. So in order to become more relevant in that country, that we need to adapt with their own local market style. So there are a few adaptation factor inside this product policy, which is pattern, the safety. We need to know about the standard commercial instructions and the terms of that respective country, and because this can be applied to the product designing, such as the brand name, label, measurement unit, the packaging, and the language, because all of this could be become a huge impact when we enter that prospective country. And then the next one is international pricing policy. So we must adapt our pricing policy, our pricing planning, as we migrate from a global business to an international business. So there are seven factors that influence our pricing policy planning, which is the first one is company internal factors that are included in profitability, transport costs, the tariff, the taxes, the production cost, the channel cost, and all of that. And then there is market factors, environmental factors, market by market pricing, or uniform pricing, which is the same pricing planning which from the local, from the host country to the country that we want to go. And then the managerial issues, which is the transfer pricing, the foreign currency, the export price rate. And then there's financing international transaction, which is risk. Everything we do in life, there's risk. And then there's a source of financing, which is the commercial bank, the government itself, the non-cash transactions such as counter trading. So the next one is international promotion policy. So international promotion policy operates within the frameworks of the marketing mix that we have planned. So how are we going to promote our product and our services based on the planning that we have done? So there are 10 aspects that we should be considered in this policy, which is the product itself, the packages, the various of product, the product line, the price, the sales force, advertising, after sales services, delivery service, distributions, and social network. And then the last one is international distribution policy. In distribution policy is a company's plan for proper and fast shipping of its good from manufacturing chain to its retail positioning. So we live in a 21st century, so as we know right now, as we can notice, this COVID really took a toll on our day-to-day life basis, and proper and fast shipping are the one that we are looking for. So these are very, very important. So there are 5 factors that influence in this distribution policy, which is the question of control, the size of margin, the length of the channel. Either we use third-party intermediaries in our distribution channel, and then the terms of sale and channel ownership. So when our products or services are in that specific country, the risk and cost, who's gonna bear it? So that are the factors. That's all for me. Thank you.
Hello sir, my name is Shamantin Zijin and my merit number is 270191. Today I will be presenting about the conclusion for this assignment. So I will say that Malaysia was the 4th largest economic country among the countries in Southeast Asia due to its reach of natural resources in the country. Therefore, the stability of the political system of Malaysia and the good foreign policy between Malaysia and other countries had attracted many of the foreign direct investment choose to invest in Malaysia. Moreover, as an action to improve our international trade activities, our government has actively participated in various of the international organizations through the bilateral integration and the regional integration such as ASEAN and free trade agreement with Australia, Japan, Indonesia, Korea, New Zealand, and China. As a result, we are able to conclude that Malaysia was actually one of the powerful countries in every perspective that enabled to pull our economic condition to a higher level. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Last but not least, as a Strategic Planning Division Officer at Ministry of International Trade and Industry Malaysia, this is our research summary regarding Malaysian international business policy. Firstly, the Malaysian politics is based on a federal constitutional monarchy, while the economy in Malaysia has successfully developed multi-sectors industry. Malaysian legal government is also based on Islamic and English common law, and it has fast-growing ICT industry for the aspect of technology environment. There are also several reasons for government in Malaysia to intervene in trade, including to prevent unemployment, protecting infant industry, and preserve essential industry. There are two types of instruments that are commonly used in Malaysia to control trade, such as tariff and quota. Next will be regarding Malaysian cross-national cooperation and agreement. Economic integration aims to decrease costs by reducing trade barriers. There are two types of integration, which are bilateral and regional integration. Bilateral integration depends on foreign trade to achieve economic growth, while regional integration are areas around the world tying closely together, such as AFTA. Next there will be several motives for Malaysian companies to involve in foreign direct investment and also collaborative policies, such as market-seeking motive, resource-seeking motive, and efficiency-seeking motive. There are 5 types of collaboration, namely licensing, franchising, management contracts, turnkey operation, and joint venture. In addition, having a strategic alliance by joint venture or equity alliance will ensure the companies to stay competitive in the market, while network structure could broaden the communication relationship without any border. Lastly, there are 4 types of international marketing policy, including international product policy, international pricing policy, international promotion strategy, and lastly, international distribution policy. Well, that's all from our group. Thank you.